Loki defeated Gunko, Chopper's the Forest God, and Emu is mobilizing? One Piece chapter 1178 has officially come out, and it's full with so many questions. But pause. Let's go back and start at the beginning. We have a cover page request by Anna, where Captain Kidd is running away from a charging bull due to his famous red cape. Now, obviously these requests are not canon, but this still brings up the question, is Kidd alive? We probably won't find out anything until Elbaf is over, though this at least proves that Kidd is still on Oda's mind. Now onto the chapter. We start the chapter with Luffy bringing the injured Usopp and Brook back to Sanji's group. Here we see Franky offer backup to Luffy, but Luffy denies. And let me just say, I have to give it to Franky. He is always ready to fight, no matter who it is. I mean, I think a lot of people in the community, including myself, don't give enough credit to Franky. Remember Zoro vs King? That time with Big Mom? What about when he was face to face with Saint Saturn? Franky doesn't give a fuck. He just maintains that energy, bro. Now, speaking of reckless energy, Luffy comments on how crazy Loki is going to get in their fight. Even Sanji is surprised by Luffy's attitude towards Loki. I mean, look at Luffy's face. He is so enamored. It's not too often that we see Luffy gravitate towards a person this much. Loki actually feels like a true rival that can fight on the same level as him. It's honestly so cool seeing this. Now, cutting over to Loki and Emu's fight. Emu starts talking about a strange pirate crew that exclusively targeted world government ships. It seems pretty clear to me that this is what Loki was up to during those 7 years between killing Harold and yet getting packed up by Shanks. But what I think is really cool is that we know that Harold used to target pirate ships in the Florian Triangle on behalf of the world government. So it's nice knowing that Loki turned the tables around, giving the world government a taste of their own medicine. But as the fight rages on, Emu tried to Dami Reversi Loki and Luffy, but it didn't work on them. But somehow it worked on Rocks. Why? So we find out that the long-standing theory in the community that it only works on people in their homeland is disproven, because it didn't work on Loki and he's from Elbaf. So what could it be? It's not the fact that they have the Will of D, because it worked on Rocks. Maybe because they are both Devil Fruit users? But that doesn't make any sense, because it seemed Emu wanted to confirm something, but it's pretty obvious that they both have devil fruits, so there would be no reason for Emu to try to test that. So it must be something else, something that connects Luffy and Loki. Maybe they both have like god fruits and Emu wanted to confirm that it's the same fruits that they faced in the past, but I'm not sure. Now, after resisting Dami Reversi, Loki does something that no anime character ever does. He uses finisher right at the beginning of the fight. Like, who does that? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I thought for sure Emu was gonna just break through the ice. I mean, that's what you do in anime when you have an ice user you're fighting against. That's what Doflamingo did against Kuzan. That's what Garp did to Kuzan. You know, maybe Kuzan's ice is just ass. No, but seriously, Ragnir is probably just built different. It has like some mythical ice. Maybe that's what froze the Galley Law Giants on Punk Hazard. Anyway, back to Dami Reversi. Zoro and gang are finishing up the other Dami Reversi giants, when Chopper shows up to reveal that it is in fact something special about himself that cures Dami Reversi. Is he the forest god like so many people think? The one that can tame demons? Maybe. Or maybe Zoro is right and he is really just that good of a doctor. No, but seriously, maybe this is part of Chopper's awakening. Maybe he can humanize the devils? Who knows? This is just another question that this chapter poses. And speaking about other mysteries, now we check in on Robin and Saul. Biblo the owl and the books are missing. Where are the books? Maybe Biblo can shrink them down and then he went to the Heaven Realm. Wait, and by the way, what even is Heaven Realm? We still gotta figure that out. Even more questions that this chapter poses. But at the very least, we know that the books are not destroyed, even though we don't know where they are. Next, outside of Western Village, we briefly cut over to Sommers trying to piece himself back together. Wait, hold on. Is that a mechanical heart? Or is it covered in hockey? Wait, was that inside his head? What's going on here? Okay, if it's mechanical, then that's really fitting for his like cold personality and demented views on love. Really interesting things right here. Again, more questions. Now onto the final scene. We cut to the Holy Land, and we see a little glimpse of destruction from the fires. Who did that? Was it the Revolutionary Army? Or maybe Blackbeard? Is the destruction over? Did Shamrock take care of it? If it is over, will Shamrock come back to Elbaf? Finally, Emu states that they will be leaving the Holy Land. Is Emu coming to Elbaf? Most likely. But what if it's a red herring? Maybe he's going somewhere else, maybe to pick up some kind of weapon, or maybe he wants to take care of something else that we have no idea what it's about. But if Emu does come to Elbaf, maybe we'll get a face reveal. This chapter is just so full of different questions that need to be answered. But the biggest question on my mind is this it for Elbaf? Is this the end of the arc? Elbaf has now been going on for over 52 chapters, but I think this is actually just the calm before the storm. We still need to see Heaven Realm. Brook and Gunku's relationship still needs to be explored, and Sanji keeps saying that he thinks this is too easy, and I agree. So this is probably not the end. Emu is coming. Maybe Emu's presence will power up the Holy Knights, but who knows? We're just going to have to find out in the next chapter of One Piece.